So this is the last video of Kadavu, and we're leaving Vigola Bay heading for Naigoro. There is a pass there in the middle that's a little bit of a concern, as there's no depths or anything on the chart, so this is the point here I'm really concerned about. No one knows how deep it is. It's just been through the dodgiest pass I have ever been through. It's back there. It's hard to see with this dark skies, but there's a reef right there. Right there is the reef, and right there is reef. And entrance back there is the shallowest bit. Oops, we're getting shallow again. I've got to get back to the helm. Just got to go around this pole right here. That's the other edge of the reef. And once we get past there, we're in the clear. Look at these markers, typical Fiji markers. I suppose you can't expect there to be markers really. Anyway, you can only just see that when you get about 4 boat lengths away from it. I mean, it's lucky to survive, I suppose. It's barely there, isn't it? It's coming into a new bay. A local boat here, and they are diving on some fish traps. So it turns out it's not. They're actually experimenting with seaweed. They're trying to grow seaweed for the Chinese market. And they had a Ministry of Fisheries person there that was helping them out, teaching them how to grow. Village up in there.
Granddaughter.
That's my first granddaughter.
First grandkid?
Yeah.
First grandkid? Yeah? Oh, that's a bit, you're real special then, aren't you?
So if you've watched any of the videos before, you'll know the first thing we do when we get to a new place is go into the village and track down the chief and offer sevu, which is a gift of kava. In this case the chief was away, but this was the second in charge. So there's no power or gas for cooking. Some of them have solar to charge phones and etc, but the cooking is done with wood by burning timber, a good old-fashioned way. So after sevu, I heard a whole lot of commotion and thought I'd go and investigate, and I found these young fellas playing volleyball. So these guys were super keen for me to join on in, but once I pointed out that I had a broken toe and it was all strapped up, they stopped encouraging me. And turns out they have a volleyball team in the Olympics, and one of these guys is in it. So after watching the volleyball for a bit, I went back to Bill's place where we done sevu and came across the kindergarten here. Anyway, once I got back to Bill's, he had mixed up a whole lot of kava and we were into it. But I kept thinking to myself, remember what happened last time with your toe. So anyway, we did have quite a few, but we left before it got dark, headed back to the boat. But I think if Bill had his way, he'd have us stay there all night and just keep on drinking. They just love to hang out with someone new, I think. They're such a friendly bunch here. Like, even the young guys that were playing the volleyball, the Bill obviously and his family, incredibly welcoming, friendly. His wife is walking us back to the dinghy now, as we leave the village here, just showing a few shots of various things. That's where they do the weaving. Here's the dock where you bring your dinghy into. So this is not far off high tide, but at low tide it's all mud halfway out to Yin Yang there. These barrels are full of pre-mix petrol, so they buy it from the servos pre-mixed, ready to go. So this is Bill's wife taking us back to the dinghy. What they're wearing there is called a sulu in Fiji. It's part of the dress code for sevu, where you cover your knees and shoulders. So as we quite often do, we're going to do a bit of exploring around the mangroves. and see what we can find. Yep, I think we're lost. I'm going bush. Right, that's how we get out. Right there, Lee. So you got to wonder what's lurking in these mangroves. It would make a great nursery for little fish or even big fish babies. So yeah, there's got to be a lot of life up in here somewhere. I don't know what this place is, but there's a path comes from that way. Got a little bit of a shack thing going on. Out in the middle of nowhere. Someone obviously decided they wanted to build it for some reason. Put a lot of effort into it. There's a lot of concrete there. So this couple was trolling the bay for at least an hour. In that time I saw them catch at least a dozen fish. These guys have caught a fish. So this goes to show how important the fish are to these guys. This guy's run a net along the boundary of the mangroves. You kind of see the buoys there, just past that boat wake that's just come out. It goes all the way, where is it? Still going to those rocks right there. It's a pretty big net. So we're off to snorkel Naigoro Passage. I'd love to scuba dive this area, but none of the dive centres around were going here while I was here. The swirling currents. Heading out to the pass. Well, we're in the pass, but out to the entrance of the pass out there by that breaking wave. But look at these currents, there's swirling going on. Very dull day today. Makes it a bit eerie jumping in this water. The water looks pretty black, but I know it's going to be clear. Edge of the reef's right there next to that swirling one right there. The reef edge runs just along here, all the way out to that breaking wave. So we're travelling at about 2 or 3 knots and we're not going anywhere. So these red soft corals were quite impressive. I've seen blacks and greens and purples and blues, but not reds, not to the extent that this place got red, that I can remember anyway. So this is Naigoro Bay, and you'll see the village up at the head of the bay here. But notice the tide, it's low tide at the moment. We're going to go into the village later when the tide comes in, but she gets very shallow in here. And there's Yin Yang's anchorage. So here's some plantations that are up in the hills surrounding Naigoro village. they need the young people. I've mentioned it before, and these places on Kadavu do a great job of holding on to their 20 and 30-year-olds. A lot of places that we went to, especially last year in remote Fiji, would lose those working age men in particular, and you can see why. This is way up in the hills. There's a fair hike, and I saw a guy come back from up here, and he had this massive chainsaw over the back of his shoulder, and he would have hiked all the way up in here. And there's the village in the background there. You can see how high we are and how far they've had to walk. And there's Yin Yang. Well, huts up here. We're right up the end of a creek. Well, not quite the end. There's still room to go up further. It goes up around that corner there, but we'll stop here next to these two longboats. We'll see either a plantation or just that house. Anyway, beautiful little creek. Beautiful bird noises. Wish I could keep going up further, but anyway, we'll stop here. So we are heading back into the village to see Bill and his family. They were going to organise some fresh fruit and veggies for us. It's high tide now, hence the dinghy trip up the river, so we can get into the village no problem. It is getting a bit late in the day though, so we can't stay too long. But I also take the drone with me because the guys previously had said, oh, bring the drone, bring the drone. So this is Naigoro village from the air. Our favourite village so far. And as I pan up here, we're going to have a look at the anchorage. Yin Yang's the second boat there. There's a third boat, which is another mile in the distance. And that's Great Astrolabe Reef as we go around. And here comes Ono Island, where we were at. And then back to Naigoro village. So the older kids weren't around because it was a school day, but these are kindergarten kids, and they were so funny. They hadn't seen a drone before and didn't know what to do. These ones here freaked. Two of them fell over and cried, and all the adults just cracked up laughing, which is all these guys here. And one of them said, oh, I'll show you the Kava plantation, which you can see the path here that they take to get up there. And this is right up the top of a mountain range, and each time they tend to their crops, they got to go up here. Oh, it's a testament to their fitness. I mean, wow. It's certainly one way to keep fit. But we never got to see it anyway because we ran out of range on the drone. So notice all the concrete paths going around. It's not very common you see that sort of thing. So I was sitting there watching the volleyball, and there was a group of guys came back from work carrying a big chainsaw, and the other guys saying, oh mate, you want to see this guy's drone? So I went back and got it and launched it again to show all these other guys. That's them sitting in the background with me there. They're a bit older, and so anyway, they were quite taken by the drone as well. Very interested. Super friendly and spoke really good English too. They reckon the only ones that have drones in Fiji are the cops to check for plantations. It's getting late, we've got to go home, unfortunately. Love's coming in here. So that village is amazing. We went in there with minimal gifts, and we end up with all this, all that, all these bananas. There's some ripe ones in the fridge as well. And what was this thing called? Taro? Taro. Cook it like a potato, they reckon. Peel it, boil it. Sweet. So we're leaving Naigoro Bay and village and oh my god, what a great experience. That to date anyway has been my favourite village. Anyway, we're heading to Lawaki, and this is the village here that we're going to be doing Sivu at. It's called Solotavui. Both those places is questionable pronunciation, so take it with a pinch of salt. Interesting little place this. A big jetty here. I think the ferry must come in here, offload some goods. There's a bit of a road, well, I wouldn't really call it a road, a dirt track. A couple of little houses. Low tide at the moment, so there's a lot of mud everywhere. So it was these kids' job to show us around, and the first stop was a church, which is a beautiful church for the size of the village. It's interesting how everyone has their jobs. The priest was the carver guy, we met the fisherman, we met the gardener. So Habitat for Humanity in New Zealand came in and built 4 homes, which you'll see right here. So that house and this house were built by Habitat for Humanity from New Zealand.
You got 4.
So, there's 4 of them, 4 houses. That's pretty cool. We're supporting these guys. So it's pretty interesting that people that have the least have the most. How are they always so happy? This guy just stopped in and had a bit of a yarn. He's the school bus. He's going to pick up the kids. He's just going down there. I think he said there was 9 kids. He's from a village over this way. And anyway, gave him a couple of lures, and he's stoked with them. Look, checking them out. He doesn't have any luck catching fish, he reckons, so hopefully those lures bring him some luck. Another boat checking us out. So here's the village we done Sivu at. I would pick it's probably only got about 60-70 people. And this is the dock there where the ship comes in, and that's Yin Yang, and the creek we're about to go up the head of the bay there. And here's the creek. I'm going to finish our stay of Kadavu with a river ride. So enjoy. So apologise for the not ideal time-lapse footage here, which is taken with my phone. I normally use the GoPro, which is much better. It was such a pretty river. They always are. I love going up and down these rivers. So all along the sides of this bank is various crops, and just here we've got the one that they use to do their weaving with. And weaving is a massive thing here. Anyway, pretty location to be working. Get used to that. So we came across this house, which was the only one on the river. Quite a few mozzies around too, so I'm not so sure I'd want to live there. Anyway, we then came across the family that lives at that house. They always want to have a chat. Everyone's so friendly. And then to finish off, we found a short little river. So we thought, oh well, what the heck, let's go up there, have a nosy. Unfortunately, our time here in Kadavu's come to an end. We've got a good forecast coming up to rocket us back to the dinner outside, where we can get ready to head off to Vanuatu. So just leaving Kadavu, heading for the dinner hour Musket side sort of area. Don't know where we'll stay tonight just yet. Anyway, having a lovely motor sail, unfortunately, because there's not quite enough wind yet, but it will pick up. Dead downwind, 15 knots true, about 7 apparent. Just left Kadavu. Got both lines out. Should get a some good fishing time in today and go through some decent waters. I've got that one in as well. Anyway, a little bit of luck. Might get a mahi-mahi today, maybe a yellowfin. A really lovely mahi-mahi, or a couple of mahi-mahi would be good. Get some food in the freezer. We're starting to really get into our meat Our red meat is slowly dwindling. Anyway, nice leisurely sail. Probably won't get in till about midnight. So I stopped being lazy and I put the pole out. Much better now. Picked up almost half a knot extra. No more banging of the sail. And guess what? The engine's off. No more noise from the slapping or from the engine. So the wind's dead behind us. 17, 18 knots true. 9 knots apparent, 10 knots there, 11. Right. Anyway, it's all good. Oh, this is where we are. You can see that. We're just going to go past that island up ahead there. Apparently good fishing there, so we're hoping to hook up off that island, but so far we got nothing. The Yin Yang cooking show, halfway between Kadavu and Musket Cove. That's where we're going to go tonight, pretty sure. Not going to get in there till about midnight still. Anyway, step 1, put some water in a bowl or a pot. Boil that water. Step 2, place 2 packets of instant noodles in that bucket. Yum. Lunchtime. Woohoo! Sun's getting pretty low, it's about there now, height. Okay, still making reasonable speed. Winds 19, 20 knots occasionally. So just going into sunset, and of course, just as the sun goes down, everything has to happen at once. So we got this fishing boat we're almost on a collision course with. He's only about 3 miles away now, and looks like we're going to clear him, so that's good. We're coming up to the point here. We've also got another ship behind us, that green one on the right. And then, not on AIS, we have this guy over here. We can actually hear his engine running, so he's pretty close, but he's got no AIS on. Anyway, lovely evening. You can see the fishing boats are just up there in that sunset. There's actually 2 of them right beside each other, travelling at 8 knots towards us. Beautiful evening. That sun going down there. There's the fishing boat. We managed to avoid this guy. Just changed course to cross his bow. And here's the other fishing boat over here. Where is he? There he is. Got one boat there. Another one there. So isn't it crazy how boats They've got all the room in the world, but we all seem to come together in the same place at the same point in time. So these boats are a lot closer than what the camera shows. And on top of that, we also needed to jibe over, which we've just done, and that first ship had to avoid us. And we got the sun going down. Well, I think we just caught a fish. God damn it! Typical. The tin can just went off. Let's have a look. What do we got? Nah, it doesn't look. He must have lost. We lost him, luckily. Oh, and we lost the whole lure and everything. Oh, no, I think the lure's still there. Anyway, it's pretty rough. Where'd that tin can go? Oh no, we lost our tin can. Oh well. That must mean fishing's over. So feel much safer now. We've got a nice easy, what's this, first reef jib and jigger. Deep downwind. Pretty heavy seas. Gusting to 26 knots. Constantly around the 22. Making good headway still. So ETA 9:30 to 10 o'clock, somewhere around there. And all those ships are gone now, we're clear of any ships, and all the fishing rods are in, so happy days. So made it to Musket. Got in at 10:30 last night. Fast trip, exciting trip. Anyway, sitting here in Musket again, obviously, with boats like that going past. Boats everywhere, of course. But hey, look at this weather. Almost no wind. We've got a stunning 3 days coming up while we prep for Vanuatu. That's the next mission. So, anyway, it's good to be swimming again. So we come to the outer reef. Just a bit of a jobs day today. It's going to be hard not to get in the water. Luckily one of the jobs is getting in the water and cleaning the hull. So, so anyway, got stuff to do. You reckon it's very inviting jumping in there? You can actually see the anchor here somewhere. Where was it? Right there. Oh, where is it? Down there. There's the anchor. Anyway, it's not doing much today. Oh well, better get in and get on with this work. How calm it is. It's midday and it's pretty rare that you get to have it this calm at midday. It's usually a sea breeze or something. Anywho, this resort over here, it's so quiet. That resort there, I can hear people talking. So she's pretty rare, even for Musket Cove, to be so calm. Even the stars are reflecting in the ocean. Another beautiful morning in Musket. After church. Something we don't do too often. Listen to some beautiful singing. a lovely morning at church. A bit noisy around here at the moment. The shippy is unloading some fuel. I suspect this is the last time leaving Musket Cove. Don't think we'll be back in here again. Vanuatu next. Moving on. See you later, Musket Cove. Thanks for sticking through that marathon. In the next one we head to Vanuatu and we show you the process in doing that. Hope you enjoyed and hopefully see you in the next one.